Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is Tuesday night, and that means it is time to go XCAL Racing this week, coming to you from the Legacy, Michigan track. This is always a great race. Always non-stop excitement. Remember, this is a restrictor plate race, so these guys are going to be nose to tail, non-stop, all night long, 2, 3, 4 wide. Plus a couple of drivers who are going to be having their debut tonight. One very special driver making her debut tonight that everybody is excited about. You guys aren't going to want to go anywhere. But let's get started with some controversy with the drivers coming out of Sobo last week, starting with Joe Campbell. Hey, Joe, it's Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy, rough week last week.
Yeah, I'm fed up.
So what's going on? I know you and Derek kind of tangled.
He intentionally wrecked me during the race and then intentionally wrecked me after the race. He shouldn't even be on track this week.
So is there going to be fireworks between you two tonight if you guys get close to each other? Or are you going to be driving to avoiding him?
Well, I can promise you I don't avoid anybody. And I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest with you. The mindset I have is put him into the wall the first time I get near him. So I don't know if I'm ready to be done XCAL or not, but I guess I'll make that decision if he gets near me on track.
Well, man, good luck. Hopefully the night goes clean for you, Joe, and no problems out there. It's definitely going to be one heck of an interesting night tonight.
Yes, sir. Well, hopefully it'll be a good show for you guys.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Thanks, buddy.
Joe Campbell obviously talking about Derek Colson, and let's see if we can get a word with Derek on what his opinions are. Derek, we just talked to Joe Campbell, and yeah, he seems a little aggravated. How are you feeling coming in tonight? Derek, you got me? Okay, we'll try and get back to Derek Colson here in a few moments. But now there is a driver we definitely need to talk to tonight. The first time ever and only the second woman to ever start an XCAL event. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel. Nicole, it's Doug. You got me?
Gotcha, Doug.
Hey, it seems like just a couple of days ago I talked to you. Hey, your XCAL debut tonight. Obviously, you got a nice looking car out here. How are you feeling about this one?
Very nervous.
Well, you may be nervous. The rest of us are extraordinarily excited to see how tonight's race goes for you. I know you had a great run in the heats last night.
Yes, I pushed Gerald to the win, so we're hopefully going to do that tonight.
Well, hopefully, we're all hoping you get to victory lane. I know when it comes to plate racing and draft pack racing, you're one of the better drivers out there for that. You get a lot of practice in those Carb Cup races. So can you get to the front and get that car to victory lane?
I'm going to try my hardest tonight.
Well, whatever you do, don't lift full send to the front. I know already AJ Godsey is out here cheering you on. I know Angie's cheering you on. And hey, a lot of us, the entire BRR crew, definitely cheering you on tonight. Good luck, Nicole.
All right, thanks, Doug.
Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel making her XCAL debut tonight. And tonight is a very special night for one driver. Jose Godino will make his 50th consecutive start here tonight. Hey, Jose, it's Doug. You got me?
Yep.
Hey, buddy, congratulations. Tonight is huge for you. Your 50th consecutive start. You even got a new t-shirt in the XCAL web shop.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. That's almost 2 full seasons of consecutive starts. It's an XCAL record, and man, you're in the race. You're in the fight for wins, titles, everything, year in and year out. The consistency is just amazing.
Yeah, we are having a very good year. We are top 10 in points, and the team is in second place. So it's been a good season.
Well, man, it has been an awesome season for you, and obviously we're all rooting for you tonight. This is a huge night for you, starting this race, making your 50th consecutive start. Man, good luck tonight, Jose.
Thanks. Let me just send a quick shout out to our sponsors, Ally Wheel Repair Specialists of the Upstate, and of course to Flaming Camera Racing for letting me be with them this year, and Auto Circuit iRacing for the great broadcasts every week, and XCAL Web Shop Series for this season. For sponsoring this 2023 season.
Well, buddy,
it's been great.
It definitely has been. Congratulations on your 50th start. Good luck tonight, Jose.
Thanks. Talk to you in 50 more races time.
All right, buddy. Jose Godino making his we're going to go racing, folks. What a big night for Jose. 50th consecutive start, an XCAL record.
Drivers, you have about 50 seconds to take the grid. Yesterday all day you had...
Give us just a moment. My apologies, we had a technical glitch there, but all right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Octavio Rondoletto has the pole. Gerald Thanos Poole, his best ever XCAL start in second. John Friley and Lataro on the second row. Brent Meckes, Jared Heasley on the third row. Patrick O'Toole, Jose Godino on the fourth row. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel, and Jeff Edgar round out your top 10. Flying Ryan Seams starts in 11th, and Nick the College Kid Seams starting in 12th. Jeremy Gilliott starting in 13th, Albie Hewins in 14th, Sean Andrews starts in 15th, Brett Edgar in 16th, Scott Gilliott starts in 17th, Joe Campbell in 18th, Derek Colson starting in 19th, and the Mad Bear starting back in 20th. A 20-car field battling for a $400 purse here tonight. 200 laps around the 2-mile D-shaped oval at Michigan. It is a restrictor plate race, so they all have identical setups. It's gonna be a tight one all night long. Good evening, Phil. How the heck are you? A lot of cheers for Nicole. That's what she said. Creasel here tonight. The iRacing pace truck brings them around. It'll drop in Aaron Hillebush in the flag stand. If you have a favorite driver in the field, don't forget to drop in the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for tonight. Here we go. Down the front straightaway, green flag is in the air. They're down and away in Michigan. Hey, good evening, Danny. How are you? Jason Seams cheering on the Seams teams. Phil, I gotta agree with you on that one, buddy. Gerald Thanos Poole starting in second place, his best XCAL start ever. A great start after Nicole Kriesel pushed him to the win in the second heat. All the drivers coming up to speed. It does take about a lap to a lap and a half to get these cars up to full speed with this setup. Surprisingly, everybody keeping it 2 wide for the moment. Nobody has made this thing 3 and 4 wide like we usually see. Danny, glad to... Oh, just as soon as we say something, Gerald drifts up to the high side. They get 3 wide briefly. We're 4 wide. Jeremy Gilliott up to the lead now. Octavio in second. Jared Heasley currently running in 5th in that Flaming Karma car. And of course we'll be watching Nicole. That's what she said, Kriesel, closely all night. Nicole currently in 13th as they go into turn 1, 3 wide mid-pack. Flying Ryan down on the bottom of a 3 wide situation off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. That middle line starting to get gathered up and make their way forward. It looks up 4 wide in for second place. Jared Heasley has to back out. Jared and Jeremy Gilliott almost touch coming out of turn 4. 4 laps in, we're seeing 3 and 4 wide racing all through the field. This is such a big night for several of the drivers. We also have another rookie in the field tonight, Patrick O'Toole, who has been here the last 2 years for the big end-of-year event here at Michigan. Found out that tonight was Michigan again. Decided to hop back in the car, see what he could do, see if he could get a piece of that $400 purse. But while he has raced with XCAL, this is his first points-paying XCAL event. Octavio Rondoletto currently in the lead. Joe Campbell, one of the top drivers in these plate races, making his way forward, currently up into 12th, up 6 spots. Flying Ryan and Nick Seams appear to both be working their way backwards. Some of the drivers moving back here early to play it safe, like Derek Colson, Patrick O'Toole. Oh, it looks like Colson didn't take the grid. Not sure what happened with Derek, but he is not on the grid tonight. Meanwhile, they are still 3 wide mid-pack. 6 laps into this, we've seen a lot of 3 and 4 wide racing. as Jared Heasley goes to the lead. Jared jumping to the lead for the first time tonight. Can he lead at the start-finish line? Get himself 5 bonus points. Out of turn 4, down the front straightaway, Jared is going to lead this lap. Now, does he drop to the back like team owner Gerald Poole has done? Jose Godino now slips up into the lead, Jared's teammate, and as we mentioned, tonight is Jose's 50th consecutive start in XCAL. That is the most consecutive starts of any XCAL driver in history. Jose actually has a new shirt in the XCAL web shop today celebrating this event. And a huge congratulations to him. Derek Colson was also scheduled to start tonight, making his 97th career start. However, he has not made it out on track yet. They have 200 laps for 400 miles tonight, and a bit of a surprise that we are not seeing these guys settle down just a little bit. We're still seeing 3 and 4 wide racing at different parts of the track. Three wide mid-pack. Jeff Edgar, Brett Edgar, and the 21 of Scott Gilliott, who's making his way forward. Gilliott now up to 11th. Nick, the college kid, seems leads at the line. Flying Ryan now going by. They're going to try and push Ryan up to get 5 bonus points as well. Scott Gilliott now up into the top 10. Jeremy Gilliott back in 11th. Gerald Thanos Poole has dropped all the way to the tail end. He is playing it safe back there with Patrick O'Toole, Albie Hewins, Nicole Creasel, and a few other drivers hanging out at the back. Very big possibility of a big one here tonight. And look who has come all the way through the field now to second place, Joe Campbell. Joe started back in 18th, has worked his way up into second place, looking to lead here and get some bonus points right behind Sean Andrews. Flying Ryan in third, Nick Seams in fourth, Jared Heasley in fifth. 4 J&S drivers out front, working as a team to make sure they all get a few bonus points in the early going tonight. Brett Edgar just set the fastest lap of the race so far. Brett up 9 spots already into 7th place. Right behind him, Brent Mekas in 8th, Lataro in 9th, Octavio in 10th. And Joe is going to lead at the line. I do believe that makes all 4 of those J&S cars out front have led a lap to pick up some bonus points here early in the race. Brett Edgar now up into 6th, but right in front of him, the Mad Bear in 5th place. Matt already up 15 spots after starting at the back of the field, making his way up to get some bonus points. The championship leader has a big gap on the rest of the field coming into tonight. Everybody's starting to settle into a little bit of a rhythm here. A little movement toward the back half of the field, but most of the front half now getting single file. Albie Hewlett's one of the drivers dropping to the back here early on. Albie has been getting faster and faster, moving up more and more week in and week out. Off turn 2, back down the back straightaway. Everybody fanning out a little bit this time by. The top 5 getting single file. Most of these drivers just trying to make it when we get to that last run, about lap 130 to 140. Once these drivers get that final fuel stop, the aggression will be turned up to 11. Right now, it's only at about 9.5. Everybody is still trying to get up, lead a lap, get some bonus points, see what they can do out here tonight. Jared Heasley just set the fastest lap. Last time by, Jared ran a 48.56. Could we see lap times drop down into the 47s tonight as they lay down rubber on the track? Jason Seams, Tammy Seams, Tanya Gleason all cheering on. Nick Seams, the college kid, and Flying Ryan Seams. Both drivers, both of the Seamses in the top 5. That lead pack, pretty much all single file here at the moment. Got about 4 cars off the back, and it looks like they are just sitting back playing it safe. Jose Godino, Gerald Poole, Patrick O'Toole, and Nicole Creasel leading that group, pulling them back up, making sure they stay in the draft, but making sure that they also have a little bit of space to react if problems occur ahead. Joe Campbell back to the lead with the push from Flying Ryan. Matt Bear still in 5th. Jeff Edgar in 6th. Neither driver making a big push right now to get to the lead. All the way through the top 10, pretty much single file, or all the way through the track. Mark Dantuma out cheering on Flaming Karma Racing tonight. And Tanya out cheering on J&S Racing. Nicole Creasel driving for Flaming Karma tonight. Only the second woman to ever drive in XCAL competition. She's hanging out at the back, keeping that car safe for the moment, but when it comes down and it gets down to time to get to business, Nicole is one of the best on a plate race. She is going to be tough to beat. Joe continues to lead out front. Flying Ryan in 2nd, Sean Andrews 3rd, Nick Seams in 4th, the Mad Bear in 5th. Albie Hewins had dropped to the back earlier on. It looks like he has moved up to the high side. Could he be starting to make a move toward the front? Now, throughout the night, you will see a couple of drivers drop all the way to the back of the field, then practice a run up to the front. A lot of drivers test throughout the race to see how many laps they need to charge to the front and what kind of moves they need to make to get there. Jared Heasley moving up about half a lane. Could he be waiting on Albie? No, he drops back down into line. Joe Campbell continues to lead. Nobody really pushing the issue. Everyone settling into a rhythm. Fuel strategy not going to be a huge issue here tonight. Everybody on a fixed setup, so all the drivers looking at anywhere from 63 to 67 laps on a tank of fuel. Some of those drivers out there that are exceedingly good at saving fuel, and maybe some of the drivers hanging out at the back half of the pack could be out there able to stretch it a few more laps, but not a lot of benefit to trying to stretch the fuel mileage on your own, because you do have to pit with somebody else to be able to draft and get back up to pace. Hitting pit road by yourself could end your night very, very quickly without help getting back to speed. Good evening, Kevin Gerard. How are you, man? Jason, you're absolutely right. At 65, at about 65 to 64 to 65 laps, they could two-stop this race. It would not be the first time, and you make a valid point. If this stays green to the end, we could see that work. Joe continues to lead. He is the one driver currently unable to save any fuel. If and when he decides to drop back in line, he's going to have to conserve a little bit here. Flying Ryan giving the boss a push down into turn 3. I'm doing great, Kevin. This is the legacy version of this track. You see how much some of these cars are moving around, bouncing around throughout a lap. They do not have a ton of grip. So the cars are moving around a lot out here tonight, and the track is so bumpy. Plus, you see the points in the track. Where the track has been patched, that can very much unsettle it. We have seen some epic XCAL races here at Michigan, some epic battles that last 15-20 laps. Tonight will be no different. If you haven't already, take a moment, hit like, follow, subscribe, and most importantly, hit that share button. Invite your friends and family to come watch this one. While they settle into a rhythm right now, things will get wild after that first pit stop. Joe continuing to lead his team around here in the early going. They still hold the top 4 spots. Matt Bear sits in 5th. Brett Edgar in 6th. Both Brett Edgar and Jeff Edgar here tonight. Octavio Rondoletto has been moving up the standings here lately, and finally last week getting redemption at South Boston. Remember last year at South Boston he was leading and dominating the race. Then he lives in Argentina and lost connection. The internet went down and he ended up losing that race with about 15 laps to go. A heartbreaking finish. South Boston definitely owed him one, and he got it last week. You know he was ecstatic. You could hear it when we interviewed him after the race. Nicole Creasel did drop to the tail end of the field with Gerald Thanos Poole. My understanding is Gerald won that heat race last night to start on the front row thanks to the push from Nicole. She also did the dash race last night and had a great race as well. Was looking at a win up until the final laps of that race. She is definitely going to be one to watch late in this one. Next month will be our 3-year anniversary here at How to Suck at iRacing. And I have to say, in all that broadcasting, 2 of the best plate racers are sitting at the tail end of the field right now. Jason seems saying that the J&S cars are handling like a dream tonight. He got some intel from Flying Ryan that these cars will be tough to beat tonight. And of course, Kevin cheering on Nicole. That's what she said. Creasel at the moment. I do know that all of BRR is cheering on Flaming Karma Racing tonight. However, the biggest cheers are coming for Nicole tonight. Everybody wants to see Nicole back in victory lane here at Michigan. Bit of a surprise. We have not seen, we talked about it a few moments ago, we have not seen anybody try and make a test run to the front. We usually see quite a bit of that prior to the first pit stop, but not seeing anybody make a move toward the front yet. Matt Bear is definitely one we are used to seeing drop into the tail of the field and then charging back through to see how many laps it's going to take him to fight his way to the front. Everybody keeping the cars clean, though, for the moment, making sure they can make it to the end of this one. Scott Gilliott has now made his way up into 8th place. Scott, new to XCAL this season, along with both of the boys. Jeremy Gilliott currently back in 14th. Actually, only 2 of the Gilliott Stimulus Racing cars out on track tonight. Scott Gilliott, Jeremy Gilliott are out here. And speaking of families, the rumors still abound about the Seams family and how many cars we'll see with Seamses in them before the end of the season. Wild Bill Percy in the comments, buddy, why didn't you bring me one? I'm thirsty too. Word is that J&S team got themselves to the front early. This was part of their strategy to get themselves up front and avoid the chaos here tonight. Wild Bill, of course, cheering on Nicole. That's what she said. Creasel. Albie Hewins is now dropped to the tail end of the field, hooked up with Gerald Thanos Poole. Gerald in a new paint scheme tonight, still with that Scarlet Revolt Apocalypse paint scheme. Just a slightly different version of that, but man, that thing looks nice, pretty, and shiny. And when that new album comes out from Scarlet Revolt, you guys might want to listen really, really closely. You might recognize a voice. As we mentioned, Patrick O'Toole, his first points race here in XCAL competition, having competed in the massive event postseason the last 2 years, getting in here and winning some money and prizes, looking to get into victory lane here tonight. A $400 purse on the line here tonight. The winner getting roughly $100. It's a big night for XCAL competition. And speaking of the big purse, let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger by taking our first commercial break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to go side by side. You're not going to miss a thing. Stick around. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We still have Joe Campbell in the lead, followed by Flying Ryan Seams, Sean Andrews, Nick the College Kid Seams, and the Mad Bear, the top 5. Brett Edgar in 6th, Brent Mecca 7th, Scott Gillian 8th, Jeff Edgar 9th, and Jared Heasley in 10th. Next week, we go to Thompson Speedway. It tends to be a very exciting race. Thompson is a very tricky track. Things get a little bit dicey, especially through 1 and 2. You're not going to want to miss that one. And 2 weeks from tonight, hey, we go to Watkins Glen. They go road racing in XCAL. That's going to be a great battle. Plus, 2 weeks from tonight, we will see the debut of Mark Dantuma in a Flaming Karma racing car. Jose Godino currently running in 15th place. Remember, a big night for Jose in that Flaming Karma racing car. His 50th consecutive XCAL start, a big accomplishment. you can go to the XCAL Racing web shop at xcalracing.com/shop and get your Jose Godino 50th start shirt. You can also get your Busted at the Seams hat and a whole lot of other gear like an XCAL Racing mouse pad, t-shirts, towels, and so much more J&S Racing gear. There's even still some Matt Bear gear, the Ghost of Dale shirts. Okay, so I did get a message and a request to get Angie in the booth. She is not feeling great, but if she feels up to it, I'm sure she'll drop by and say hello. And hey, guess what, guys? Tomorrow afternoon, you guys have loved. We've gotten a lot of comments about Angie driving the truck, how much everybody loves watching it. Tune in tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon rather. It gets even better. Angie will be taking flight, her first time doing the DCS flight sim. That's going to be exciting. Hey, good evening, DP Riggins and Robert Winger. Kevin, not yet, but you know what? We could definitely make that suggestion. J&S Racing drivers from both of the J&S teams up in the top 4. They planned on getting that top 4 early on, controlling the race, but more importantly, protecting the cars out front. If they're out front, they can't be caught up in a wreck. Biggest mover of the race so far, also the leader, Joe Campbell, up 17 spots into the lead. And we can't go plate racing without talking about the 2022 season opener at Charlotte. You can find the clip from that on YouTube, and folks, just take a moment and go watch that after the race tonight. You'll never see anything like that again. It is not often that you see a driver on the final lap get hit multiple times and still pull off a win. Patrick O'Toole in his debut, currently sitting back in 16th. Gerald Poole, Albie Ewins, Nicole Kriesel have dropped back off the lead pack, trying to play it safe, but they are out of the draft of the lead pack now. They are just hoping for a caution to come out that does not involve them. Pit stops could shake up everything tonight. Kevin, I had the same reaction calling that race. We are just over 15 laps away from starting to see green flag stops here at Michigan. Jose Godino sitting at the back. Patrick O'Toole just ahead of him in that lead pack. Let's ride along on the nose of O'Toole's car as he comes down the front straightaway. Across the start-finish line as they head down towards turn 1. Everybody doing a great job of holding it single file. Off into turn 1 though, and you see cars start moving around. They hit these bumps. It unsettles the car. This track is bumpy, although it is a lot smoother than its sister track in California. Down the back straightaway, a few bumps. You see the cars bounce around, shift around just a little bit. Down through 3 and 4. This is probably the bumpiest part of this track. And down the front straightaway, back to the start-finish line. Patrick O'Toole did that lap in 48.69. The back half of the pack starting to come out of line just a little bit. A few drivers looking like they may be looking for their teammates. Drivers and teams starting to communicate, planning their pit strategy, making sure they are together. Of course, the J&S Racing team all up front. They are all together, so they will dive to pit road together. However, being up front, getting to pit road, these guys will have to announce they're coming in very early. Let everybody around them know they're coming in. Being at the front, coming into pit road at Michigan is a scary proposition. Flying Ryan really giving the boss, Joe Campbell, a big push on the straightaways. It is definitely going to be tricky, Kevin. And now the drivers starting to make their way down to the apron. Sean Andrews had a little bobble out at turn 2. The drivers will not notice a ton of tire wear. Pit stops will be based on how much fuel they have to take, and they may just take right sides only on one of the pit stops here tonight. Remember, if they make it to lap 65, the drivers can do it on 2 stops. Starting to see a little bit of a gap mid-pack. Scott Gilliott in 8th, Jeff Edgar in 9th, about a half second apart. The back half of the pack really starting to fall out of that single file line. Multiple grooves being run through the turns here. Those 3 cars at the back, led by Gerald Thanos Poole, Nicole Kriesel, Albie Hewins. Now about 7.5 seconds behind the lead pack. Albie, I don't know if he was thinking about going to pit road there for a moment. Albie is not with his team right now, so he'll have to come in with Nicole and with Gerald. Matthias, yes. Everybody drop in the comments and let us know what lap you think they're going to start pitting on. And will any of the drivers be able to make it to lap 70 or beyond? Kevin Gerard said lap 62 is his prediction when we start seeing him. However, any driver that stops on lap 62 is liable to need 3 stops tonight unless we get a caution. Jose Godino in his 50th consecutive start just set the fastest lap of 48.43. Looks like the track is picking up some speed. That is over a tenth of a second faster than the previous lap laid down by Jared Heasley of 48.56. Jose Godino is one of those drivers we talked about could potentially stretch that fuel mileage further than anybody else. However, he is going to need somebody to pit with. The top 5 still the same. Joe Campbell, Ryan Seams, Sean Andrews, Nick Seams, and the Mad Bear. Brett Edgar still sits in 6th, Brent Meckes in 7th, Scott Gilliott 8th, Jeff Edgar in 9th, and Jared Heasley in 10th. Looks like a cloud has come over the track, cooling the track off just a little bit here. Gerald Poole still leading that second pack. They continue to lose ground, now almost 10 seconds behind the rookie Patrick O'Toole. However, as we've seen here in the past, pit stops could change everything. This field will get way spread out. A lot of times what we see when XCAL comes to Michigan, that first pit stop, the entire field ends up spread out in groups of 2 and 3. And by the time we finish the second pit stop, everybody forms back up into 1 or 2 big groups for a mad dash to the end of the race. Joe Campbell has been out front for the better part of this run. One of his teammates back behind may need to take the lead for a lap or 2 just to let him conserve a little fuel here. Surprisingly, as we mentioned, nobody has made a run from the back to the front. Nobody has gone on the attack. Everybody's settled in after about 15 laps and has just been playing it safe for this first run. But that second run, when everybody split up and the battles really begin. And of course, after that second pit stop, everybody's going to be jockeying to be exactly where they want to be coming into the final laps of this race. I can tell you the one place you don't want to be coming into the final laps, that last 10 laps, you definitely do not want to be out front. Lead pack still keeps breaking up off into 2. Scott Gilliott in 8th, staying about a half second behind Brent Mekas in 7th, still within range to draft. But right on the edge of that little bit of draft he is getting right now. Jeff Edgar, Jared Heasley need to get up and push him, or they are going to lose the lead draft, and man, that could mean trouble. Lap 62, nobody on pit road yet. Hey, good evening, Jared Ken. How are you? Next time by, everybody will be within the window to do this on 2 stops. And Matt Bear is leading an attack on the high side. Here comes J&S. J&S and a little help from Jeff Edgar. All 5 cars on pit road. Matt Bear to the lead for the first time tonight. Pit stops underway at Michigan. Albie Hewins, Nicole Kriesel, and Gerald Poole also came into pit road. The last time by, will the Mad Bear lead them in? They're going to go at least one more lap here. Both teams is on pit road along with Joe Campbell. The whole J&S team came in together tonight. And it looks like we're starting to see some drivers make some moves as we get closer to the first round of pit stops before they come in trying to get in position with their teammates. Scott Gilliott, Jared Heasley, Latoro, John Friley, Patrick O'Toole are in. 6 cars currently stayed out. Matt Bear, Brett Edgar, Brent Mekas, Octavio Rondoletto, Jeremy Gilliott, and Jose Godino. Matt getting a big push from Brett Edgar down the back straightaway. The J&S team came in right on the cusp of here we go. The rest of them are headed in. The J&S team came in right on the cusp. Oh no! Brent Mekas has a problem coming to pit road. Look like Brent just gets a little too wide headed in. Slides it out, and I do believe he hit the pit wall here. Does not, oh no, he does have some right front damage. Brent checks up and then gets a little bit of the grass, slides through it. No, he does not get the wall. Everybody avoids him. What a close call for Mekas. Gerald Poole back out on track. J&S back out together again. Albie Hewen's out. Nicole Creasel back out on track as well. And you see the group all split up. Jared Heasley is having way too much fun on pit road tonight. Gerald Poole did not take a full fuel load. He is going to assume the lead, I think, next time by. Jared Heasley now rolls off pit road. Nick Seams leads the J&S team. As the rest of the field begins to come off pit road, Joe looking up to the high side. Is Joe going to come back to the front and lead his team once again? He has got the big run, and I guarantee you they practiced this. Flying Ryan up on the high side, pushing the boss to the front. And Gerald Thanos Poole has taken the lead for the first time tonight. Jared Heasley currently scored in second. No drafting help. Brett Edgar, Matt Bear, Octavio Rondoletto. Here they come, but here comes J&S. And Joe Campbell has gone back to the lead back to the front of that pack rather, with Flying Ryan right behind. Brent Mecca still on pit road after that problem getting in. And it looks like he may have gotten an unsafe pit entry penalty. Gerald Poole in that new Scarlet Revolt paint scheme tonight. All alone with a 12-second lead over Jared Heasley. Joe Campbell bringing his team with him. They're picking up drivers along the way. Now in third, Flying Ryan in fourth. Nick Seams in fifth. Jared Heasley just about 6.5 seconds ahead of Joe at the moment. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go side by side. You won't miss a thing. And we are back. 72 laps down, a bunch more to go. Joe Campbell has led that 6-car pack. They have closed in on Jared Heasley in second place. Gerald Thanos Poole all alone in the lead, about 14.7 seconds ahead, but they will swallow up Jared and they will close the gap on Gerald Poole. A second pack led by Lataro has Octavio with them. Martin Rondoletto cheering on Octavio here tonight. The second pack, Lataro, Octavio, Jose Gadino, Jeremy Gilliott, John Friley all alone at the moment, as is Scott Gilliott, Patrick O'Toole, Albie Hewins, Nicole Creasel. Britt Mekas has got into the draft of this second pack, but is not on the lead lap. Gerald's lead currently 15.1 seconds, but once this group gets back single file, they're going to come charging up on Thanos. A little bit of side-by-side as looks like some of the drivers are now trying to break up that J&S group at the front. Cadence Campbell cheering on Joe and the rest of the J&S team. That lead pack surprisingly has formed back up very quickly after pit stops. From second back to 13th, all nose to tail. Gerald's lead shrinking very quickly. Layla Manning also cheering on Joe Campbell. I think J&S might have a bigger fan club here tonight than the BRR guys cheering on Flaming Karma. Gerald Poole's lead now down to 13.25 seconds and shrinking very, very quickly. Nicole Creasel just ahead of Thanos, but at the tail end of the lead lap at the moment. And based on the numbers, it does look like the entire field will be able to pull this one off in just 2 stops tonight. Matt Bear in 5th is pulled up to the back bumper of Nick Seams, moving Sean Andrews back to 7th, and it does look like some of these drivers are trying to break up that J&S group up at the front of the pack. And you know what we haven't done tonight? I think it's a good time for me to stop talking. You guys hit the volume button, turn it all the way up. Folks, let's crank it up here at Michigan. That is always a lot of fun here. Hope you guys enjoyed it at home. Let's take a view from the How to Suck at iRacing blimp as Joe Campbell continues to close the gap on Gerald Thanos Poole, just 10 seconds back and gaining quickly. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, as the Nowski Nation Truck Series returns for the 3rd race of their new summer season. Thursday night, of course, you can tune in for the Community Convoy. The HTSAI community goes trucking. Sunday morning, we'll have GT3 NSS back out on track. Sunday evening, the BRR Cup Series. Several of the drivers you see here will be in that event. And of course, Monday night, Jones BS Racing is back at 7:20 Eastern. Or 7:30 Eastern, excuse me. Additionally, if you get bored at work or just need some entertainment, make sure you tune in during the day. Tomorrow afternoon, for the first time ever, Angie will take to the skies as she goes flying in the DCS Flight Sim. A lot of exciting streams coming over the next few days. More trucking with Angie, other games with me, some more trucking with me, some more racing, and who knows what else might pop up. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, don't forget to come back next week for Thompson. That is, as we mentioned earlier, that one is a bit of a tricky track. Things can get very, very chaotic very quickly, especially at the exit of Turn 2. A little shade now starting to form on the front straightaway. As we get more shade on the front stretch, things are going to get a little bit faster. We talked about it earlier, the lap times. Some of the in the mid 48s, we could see them drop down into the 47s before this race is over, with more rubber being laid down, with the track temp going down. Joe Campbell continues to lead the pack to close in on the leader, Gerald Thanos Poole. Gerald now just under 7 seconds ahead of second place Joe. Flying Ryan sits in third. Nick's the college kid seems in fourth. The Mad Bear in fifth. Brett Edgar in sixth. Sean Andrews back to seventh place now, no longer up with his JNS teammates. Jared Easley sitting in eighth. Jeff Edgar in ninth. Lataro in 10th. Octavio Rondoletto sits in 11th. Jeremy Gilliott in 12th. Jose Gadino in his 50th consecutive start, sitting in 13th. John Friley back in 14th. Scott Gilliott in 15th. The rookie Patrick O'Toole in 16th. Albie Ewan's currently running in 17th. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel in 18th. And Brent Mekas in 19th after that catastrophic first pit stop. Gerald Poole about to get some drafting help from Albie Hewins and Nicole Kriesel. Now that these two have connected, will it be enough to slow down the oncoming storm that is the J&S Racing-led pack behind? Gerald has gotten connected with Nicole and Albie now. Likely he'll stay behind them to make sure he can keep his car, driven by Nicole Kriesel, on the lead lap. Although if he goes around them, both of them would be eligible for the waiver round if the caution comes out. That second pack led by Joe, currently just 5 seconds behind. They are a much bigger pack, but 3 cars that work well together could go, as we have seen in the past, could actually pull away here. Right now, though, the 3 of them have to get lined up and get moving quickly. The gap continues to close despite the fact Gerald's got some help. Now down to 4.5 seconds. While they settle into a rhythm, we know they've only got to make one more green flag stop. You guys have just enough time before things get exciting again to run to YouTube, run to Facebook, run to Twitter, run to Instagram. Make sure you hit that like button, that follow button. It helps us and it helps XCAL out so much. It helps them get find sponsors and keep these purses huge for these drivers. A $400 purse here tonight. $100 goes to the winner. Plus, you can help support your favorite driver by going to the XCAL Racing web shop, xcalracing.com/shop. Get your Flying Ryan, your Nick Seams gear, your Matt Bear gear, your J&S Racing or Flaming Karma gear. Or for tonight's special occasion, get your Jose Godino 50th consecutive start shirt. And wouldn't it be something if Jose could pull off the win here tonight in his 50th consecutive start? Jose has not had a win yet in 2023. Could tonight be the night? It would be a huge, huge win. And Kevin Gerard said, make sure you get yourself a root beer float while you're at it. Note to self, add root beer to grocery list. There you see Joe Campbell leading that big group up to Gerald Thanos Poole, now just 2.5 seconds behind. That big group running about a half second a lap faster than Gerald Poole, Albie Hewins, and Nicole Kriesel. Joe continuing to close the gap, now just 2 seconds back. Flying Ryan doing one heck of a job pushing the boss here tonight. Awfully quiet in the chat tonight. Let us know who you are cheering for in the comments, or just come say hi. Or, tell us who your favorite broadcaster is. Unless it's not me, then don't tell me, I don't want to know. The Seams boys push the J&S led group. Joe now just 9/10 of a second behind the leader, Gerald Thanos Poole. Albie Hewins, Nicole Kriesel. Albie may be having some handling problems. The last lap or so, that car has not been able to hold a very good line. I'm not sure what's going on there. They move to the high side. Here comes Joe. And Joe Campbell easily gets by Thanos. Drag race down to the start-finish line. And Joe Campbell reclaims the lead, lap 95. A lot of cheers for the Seams boys. Flying Ryan, the best pusher of all time. I need to get Flying Ryan to come push me in a few races to a win. Gerald Poole did employ a different pit strategy, had a much shorter pit stop to claim that lead. Will he have to hit pit road early tonight? Meanwhile, Joe Campbell, Flying Ryan, Nick Seams, now back to your top three. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll run through the field and see where your favorite drivers are. All right, folks, welcome back. Joe Campbell continuing to lead here at Michigan. Let's go through the field and see where your favorite drivers are hiding at. Joe Campbell continuing to lead after a rough race at South Boston last week, leading his team 1, 2, 3. The consortium so far dominant tonight. Flying Ryan, the best pusher on the track, currently sits in second place, has pushed Joe forward every time he needs it. Nick, the college kid, sits in third place. Nick helping out the JNS team and doing amazing tonight, watching their back bumper, keeping them safe. The Mad Bear has made his way up into fourth place after starting in 20th. The current points leader on the path to a championship and a big payday. Brett Edgar currently running in fifth. Just a quiet, consistent night, putting himself where he needs to be. Jared Easley, currently the leading car in the Flaming Karma team, currently runs in sixth place in the 40. Sean Andrews in seventh, spent the first part of this race up in the top 5, helping out his JNS teammates, currently back in seventh after getting separated after the pit stop. Lataro currently running in eighth, just riding along for the moment. Look for him to be one of the drivers fighting for the win before it's over. Octavio Rondoletto coming off that big win at Sobo last week, currently running in ninth place, hoping to go back-to-back. Jeremy Gilliott currently runs in 10th place. Gilliott has not pushed the issue at all tonight, just riding it out until the time comes to attack. Jeff Edgar currently sitting just outside the top 10 in 11th place. Jeff having another great night, hoping to make up some points and get into the big money tonight. Jose Godino currently sits in 12th place in his 50th consecutive start. Jose, a big night tonight. Gerald Thanos Poole currently running in 13th place. Used a little pit strategy to lead some laps here. Waiting to see how this strategy plays out. John Friley currently running in 14th, has lost the draft, just riding around hoping for a caution. Scott Gilliott in 15th place, starting to close in on Friley with a little bit of help. Patrick O'Toole, the rookie, here tonight, has competed in 2 of the massive events after the postseason. O'Toole trying to get back up to the front. Brent Mekas in 17th at a disastrous first pit stop. Now a lap down, hoping for a caution to put him back on the lead lap. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel, in her XCAL debut tonight, currently runs in 18th place, hoping for a caution that would also put her back on the lead lap and back in the fight. Albie Hewins currently running in 19th. Albie has had some sort of problem since the pit stop. Might be a bad set of tires. That car has not been handling right. Derek Colson scheduled to start in 20th. Did not take to the grid. This would have been his 97th XCAL start. Don't forget to check out the XCAL Racing web shop, xcalracing.com/shop. Get all your XCAL Racing gear there, JNS gear, Flaming Karma gear, your Jose Godino, 50th consecutive start shirt. Your busting at the seams hat and so much more. XCALRacing.com/shop. Special thanks tonight goes to Sim Racer Hub. All the individual driver statistics on XCALRacing.com are powered by Sim Racer Hub. And if you're interested in dipping your toe into XCAL Racing, check out the Monday Night Dash Series. Shorter races and a lot of fun, a lot of excitement there. Monday nights, the XCAL Racing Dash Series. Everybody's settling back into line here. Expecting final pit stops in about 20 laps. Joe Campbell continues to lead around here, looking to pick up an extra 5 bonus points for leading the most laps here tonight. Is definitely going to help Joe in the point standings. Joe comes into tonight 8th in points. The 7th place car, the 44, not in the field tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, Brent Mekas is in the 44, but back in 17th place. Joe is going to make up a lot of ground here tonight. May move up to 7th in points with this run. Gerald Poole is on pit road. Albie Hewins also on pit road. An early pit stop was expected for Gerald Poole due to the short pit stop on the first round of green flag stops. Gerald cannot go to the end from here. Albie Hewins, however, was not an expected pit stop. This is a bit of a surprise, but Albie has been having handling issues since that first stop. We'll see if this resolves the issue. Can Albie get back in the fight? Nicole Creasel now on pit road as well. Also not a scheduled stop. Odd situation seeing all these drivers hit pit road. They will have to stop one more time at minimum to get fuel. Meanwhile, Joe Campbell coming by pit road. He's going to put these drivers a lap down here. Everybody staying single file for the moment. That lead pack led by the 3 J&S cars. We have not seen Sean Andrews make any attempt to make his way back up to help his team yet. Could there be a strategy in place, though, to get him back up during that final stop? Lataro and Octavio still nose to tail. These two work together extremely well. They have just been hanging out mid-pack all night long. Will we see an attack by these two late in the race? And can they get to the front to get the win? Gerald Poole and Nicole Creasel have both left pit road. Albie Hewins still on pit road. Not sure what is going on with Albie, but a heartbreak Albie has been making his way up the points, currently 12th in points. Stood to make up a lot of ground here tonight. Especially with the 66 of Kendrick Pryor not in the field tonight. Albie could have made up a ton of points. He'll make up a little bit. But will it be enough to pick up another position, especially with Flying Ryan, who is 13th in points, in second on track? Flying Ryan has had an up and down season all season long. Currently sits 13th in points. About 64 points behind Albie Hewins at the moment. Tonight could be a huge night for a few of these J&S drivers. And speaking of points, Matt Bear currently running at fourth, has a 400-point lead over the 29 car tonight, driven by Flying Ryan. Jason Seams makes a very good point. Flying Ryan pushing the boss around the track, and as Nick Seams protecting his back bumper, it's going to be very difficult to make a move on Joe tonight without having the Seamses get involved. However, we have seen the Mad Bear get a little bit crazy in the final laps of these races. Jared Heasley currently sitting in 6th place in the 40 car, fully expects to see one of the Flaming Karma Racing cars in victory lane tonight. Could it be him? He's currently the highest running FKR driver right now. But he does have to get by those 3 cars at the front, and has Sean Andrews, another J&S driver, right on his bumper. You come to these plate races and you know at some point there will be a big one. The question is not if, it is when and how bad. We have been green flagged for 116 laps. When will it happen and where will it come from? All the drivers showing an extreme amount of patience here tonight. John Friley, Patrick O'Toole now hooked up with Scott Gilliott. Scott currently in 13th. These 3 drivers at the tail end of the lead lap at the moment. Albie Hewins is still sitting on pit road. Don't know what happened. Have not seen any updates. I don't see any updates on what has happened with Albie Hewins. Hopefully Danny Sargent can find out and get us an update. Hopefully Albie will be back out on track before the end of the race. Jose Godino hiding out at the tail end of the field at the moment. Brent Meck is just ahead. Brent definitely hoping for a caution after that disastrous pit road entry. Brent managed to pull away from that unscathed, but man, it definitely hurt his chances here tonight. And we are just about 10 laps shy of the next round of pit stops. Matt Baer looked a little bit low out of turn 2. Didn't have a run yet, but could we see Matt Baer preparing for a run on the J&S cars? Word from the pits is Albie's car is junk and has been parked. A heartbreak for a driver who has fought his way up through the points all season long, had a bit of a slump mid-season, but has really been back on fire the last few weeks. Nicole Kriesel on the high side in 18th. She will slot back in line at the back of the lead pack. Heartbreaking to see her going a couple of laps down now. Really thought Nicole was going to be in the battle for the win, but pit strategy has set her back. And Gerald Poole also now about 3 laps down, after leading quite a few laps, but playing a little bit of a risky pit strategy that is not working out. Coming in tonight, J&S Racing Aces still had the team points lead. However, they did not field enough cars tonight to score any team points. Flaming Karma has an opportunity to pick up a lot of team points tonight, but with Nicole and Gerald both having problems here mid-race, that may be out the window. Everybody's settling in, just riding it out, about 5 laps shy of pit stops. Just running some numbers here, it looks like J&S will be able to play this strategy out. I was questioning whether or not their first pit stop was a lap or two too early, but it does look like they can go the distance, just barely. Could we see them run out at the start-finish line? It is definitely going to be close for these guys, but I think they can go the distance. The big question won't be the second and third place cars, though. It's going to be Joe at the front. Will he have the fuel to finish? And when it comes down to that last lap, who will make the attack? Will Ryan and Nick stay in line, or will they go for it? And Matt Bear, on the high side, he's going to bring some help. And here we go. Joe Campbell, Ryan Seams, Nick Seams, Sean Andrews. J&S Racing hits pit road with Jared Heasley this time. 63 laps to go. They should all be able to go the distance from here. Drivers changing up the strategy here late in the race, not trying to stretch it to the limit. And that should end up putting Matt Bear gets a big bump out of 4 from Brett Edgar. Car got a little out of shape. And if my math is correct, that should put the J&S team 1 lap to the good on fuel. Brett Edgar giving a little bit more space through 3 and 4 this time. Jared Heasley saying they cannot go the distance on fuel from here. The fuel numbers I got from some of the teams said 63 to 67 laps on a tank. We might have some drivers short on fuel. We're over 70 laps. Excuse me, my math was off by about 10 laps. They will not be able to go. It's 73 laps to the finish. They need 5 more laps to go the distance. Things are about to get really interesting. Could the strategy by Gerald Poole and Nicole Creasel pay off here? Still a long way to go. Anything could happen here tonight. And we have yet to see a caution. We have yet to see a wreck. We know Matt Bear exceedingly good at saving fuel, especially since he hopped into that 18 car owned by Austin Edwards. That team has figured out a way to put extra fuel into the car. The question is, when will they pit? Lautaro is on pit road, and he came in alone. Octavio, who he works with all the time, stays out. Getting word, thanks to Jason Seams, we're getting word that J&S is 6 or 7 laps short on fuel. They will need a splash and go, or they will need a caution. Here we go. The rest of the field coming in. Everybody except for Jose Godino is on pit road. Lap 133. These guys are right on the mark. They're within 1 lap of going the distance. Jose Godino, if he can make it back to pit road, he'll be able to go the rest of the way. And now about 3 different pit strategies playing out here. Who knows what could happen? Jose Godino drops low. He's on his way in. Meanwhile, Joe Campbell pulls his team, and they have got all 4 J&S cars back together again. Jared Heasley currently sitting in 5th place right behind those 4 J&S cars. Jeff Edgar back in 6th. Gerald Poole will be 7th place, depending on when he hits pit road. The pit strategy playing out here is about to get really interesting. And it wouldn't be Michigan if we didn't talk about last year's race and the strategy employed by the Old Edwards High Performance team. And that team, 8 cars deep, worked together to get 4 wide, 2 deep, and led the 70% of the race just by being 4 wide, 2 deep, and nobody could get around them. Now you've got the 4 J&S cars at the front coming down to the final laps. Those 4 cars could spread out, take advantage of what they learned in that race, and could potentially control the end of the race. Hey! Richie West, how are you tonight, buddy? Jose Godino is on pit road. Octavio, Jeff Edgar, Matt Bear, Jeremy Gilliott on their way out. Joe Campbell leads them around. Joe will take the lead back here. Will the other cars be able to get back up to speed and catch them? They're going to come out right in front of Scott Gilliott. Oh, this is not good. Gilliott got a huge run. Almost got into Nick Seams. Scott Gilliott trying to fight his way back, get one of his laps back here by getting in front of Joe. He might be able to do it, but more importantly, at the moment, he's holding that J&S team on the high side. This is going to give Jeff Edgar an opportunity to bring a second line into play. Joe and Flying Ryan managed to clear, get down to the bottom. But Brett Edgar has now broken up the J&S team once again. Sean Andrews is losing ground to his teammates. The team moves up top, trying to pull Sean back up to him. Richie, as always, cheering on Jared Heasley, Gerald Poole, and Nicole. That's what she said. Creasel. Nicole currently in 14th. Gerald in 13th. Jared Heasley currently running in 8th. Normally in these races, it's fairly easy to predict how it's going to turn out, what the last 20 laps, 20 or 30 laps is going to look like based on fuel strategy, pit strategy, based on what we've seen so far in the race. But at this point, I have no earthly idea. Several different fuel strategies playing out here, several different pit strategies playing out here as well. Teams working together to maintain the front. Several cars right behind looking to attack. Octavio and Lautaro back together again. Lautaro in 6th, Octavio in 7th. With a little help, Lautaro and Octavio could make a push to the front. With a little help from Jared Heasley. The Mad Bear still lurking back there as well. Remember, Matt is extremely good in these plate races. But Joe Campbell currently has his entire team at the front. 60 laps to go. Anything could happen. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Folks, don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss a single moment of this. We'll go side by side. You won't miss a thing. All right, folks, we are back. Don't forget, next Tuesday night, we are at Thompson. That one is going to be very, very exciting. And, yeah, a little bit of chaos in there as well. Especially on exit at turn 2, things get really dicey. That is definitely a race you don't want to miss. And with just 10 races left to go in the season, every point counts as we move forward. Joe Campbell continues to lead here. With his team right behind as protection. Sean Andrews now in the 4th position. Joe currently has both Seamses and Sean Andrews to protect his back bumper. But you have to wonder, when it comes down to that last 5 laps, are all bets off? Are there team orders? What will happen? Brett Edgar lurking behind in 5th, Lataro in 6th, Octavio in 7th, Jared Heasley in 8th, Matt Bear in 9th, Jeremy Gilliott in 10th. Gerald Poole and Nicole Creasel have both gotten back to the lead lap. Nicole about to go a lap down, but if a caution were to come out now, that would put them back in the fight and everybody could go the distance from here on fuel. Everybody playing it fairly safe here, though. This is probably the most patience we have ever seen out of these XCAL drivers at one of these plate races. Gerald Poole is all alone. Nicole Creasel will lose a lap, but she'll be able to fall back in line with the lead pack. Several of these drivers have tried to break up that J&S team out front, have so far been unsuccessful. However, knowing that a lot of these drivers will have to make at least a splash and go stop before the race is over, anything could happen here. Several of these drivers will be right on the fence on fuel, like Brett Edgar, Matt Bear, Jeremy Gilliott. Jose Godino is the only one we are fairly sure can go the distance on fuel. Jose currently runs in 12th. Coming down to 50 laps to go here at Michigan. Let's take one more look at where your favorite drivers are in the field, with Joe Campbell leading that 4-car J&S team around the track at the moment. Flying Ryan Seams currently sitting in 2nd, looking for his first win of the season. Nick Seams currently in third, also wanting to get back to victory lane. Sean Andrews in fourth, has gotten separated from the team earlier in the race, managed to get back up there with them. Now he is the blocker for J&S. Brett Edgar currently sitting in fifth place, having a great run here tonight. Lataro in sixth. The Butcher has his teammate Octavio Rondoletto in seventh. Octavio coming off that big win at Sobo last week. Jared Heasley currently running in eighth, looking for his first XCAL win here tonight. Matt Bear currently runs in ninth, just playing it safe here, looking for his first XCAL championship. Jeremy Gilliott currently running in 10th, stayed in the top 10 most of the night. Scott Gilliott right behind him, not on the lead lap, but there to give some help. Jeff Edgar currently sitting in 11th place. A quiet night. Can he get back up into the fight? Jose Gadino in his 50th consecutive start currently sits in 12th. Gerald Thanos Poole in 13th. No drafting help on a very different pit strategy here tonight. Will it pay off? Nicole Kriesel currently in 14th at the first car, one lap down. She'll have to make one more stop here tonight. John Friley currently sitting in 15th. A quiet night for Friley as well. Brent Mekas currently running in 16th. Was a top 10 car until the first round of green flag stops. Patrick O'Toole in his first XCAL points race here tonight, currently running in 17th. A bit of a surprise to not see him up in the lead pack. Scott Gilliott currently running in 18th, right behind Jeremy, a couple of laps down, just here to provide support for Jeremy at this point. Albie Hewen is out of the race. The car was not in good shape. Nick Seams is looking underneath. What is happening here? Joe has led the majority of the laps tonight. Looks like he's going to let Nick go to the lead here. The team working together to make sure all four drivers get some bonus points. Kevin, I have heard that is an awesome setup. Gerald Poole is on pit road. His final stop. Gerald Poole's best start in his XCAL career tonight. Starting on the front row in second place, Nicole Kriesel, now on pit road. This will also be her final stop. That is literally what she said. Brett Edgar sits behind the J&S crew, just looking for any opportunity. I was surprised to see nobody go on the attack as they move Nick Seams to the lead. The college kid now has the lead. Let's take a look from inside his car. You hear the tires just squealing as they come through the turn. Down the front straightaway, just holding the line as low as possible. Yellow line rule is in effect till 5 to go. The engine's maxed out, topping out all the way around the track. And the tire's just begging for relief. Nick Seams has led a couple of laps, so all 4 JNS drivers have scored at least 1 lap led tonight to get 5 bonus points. Joe Campbell has led the most laps, has clinched that. He will get 10 bonus points tonight. And this could be a fuel-saving move by Joe and the college kid. Joe has led the majority of laps, has used the most fuel here, now can sit behind Nick and try and conserve just a little bit to go that extra lap or two. The Mad Bear back in 9th, the points leader, looking to make his way forward. Could we see him try and battle for the win late in the race, or as we've heard him talk about the last couple of weeks, is he just going to play it safe from here on out with that dominant point lead? Jared Heasley did say tonight would see a Flaming Karma car in victory lane for the first time. He is one of the highest running Flaming Karma cars. Could he get to victory lane, or is the strategy by Gerald Poole and Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel, gonna pay off late in this race? Of note, this is also the first time we have seen the Seamses separated tonight. Nick and Ryan have been nose to tail pretty much all night since the team got together. Sean Andrews sitting back there in the back, acting as the blocker for the rest of the field for the moment. Sean goes a little bit high out of turn 4. Brett Edgar almost got a run underneath. Brett managed to separate that JNS team a little bit earlier. You know he is looking to do it again here. A lot of drivers still have to make one more fuel stop here. "40 laps to go, one more fuel stop for a bunch of drivers. We're going to take our final commercial break. When we come back, we're taking you to the finish. All right, folks, we're taking you to the end from here. Don't forget, next Tuesday night, we go to Thompson, and as we mentioned, that is going to get interesting. Make sure you hit like, follow, share, subscribe on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube so you don't miss a single moment of the action. Nick Seams continues to lead. We know the J&S team has to come in for a splash, as does Jared Heasley. Probably Jeff Edgar as well. Several other drivers on the fence. And Jose Godino, the one driver we think can go the distance. He was the last driver to pit on lap 133. Additionally, Nicole Kriesel and Gerald Thanos Poole have both completed their final stops of the night. J&S has dominated the plate race here at Michigan tonight. Can they get it done? And which one of them will be in victory lane tonight? Neither one of the Seamses has been to victory lane in 2023. Joe has one win this season. And Sean Andrews, sitting in fourth, has not won this season. So 3 of the 4 J&S drivers have not been to victory lane yet in 2023. Could tonight be the night? We have a first-time winner. Sean Andrews has started blinking over the last 5 to 10 laps. Lataro and Octavio still lurking back in 6th and 7th with Heasley in 8th. The Mad Bear now in 9th. Jeremy Gilliott has dropped to 10th. Scott Gilliott right behind Jeremy. Scott not on the lead lap. Scott currently running in 16th, but he is there to help push, if needed, Jeremy to the front. Jose Godino lurking back in 11th as well. Jose's 50th consecutive start tonight. A great new shirt for Jose in the XCAL Racing web shop. Go check it out. And it would truly be something special for Jose to get into victory lane tonight, if he can get it done. Now the question becomes, when do the J&S cars and the other cars that need that splash of fuel come to pit road? Do they take fuel only? Right side tires, left side tires? What is the plan here? I suspect most of the field is going to wait as late as possible, hoping for a caution. However, we are almost 170 laps into this race without a caution, so could we see our first ever super speedway plate race without a caution tonight? Danny Sargent in the comments cheering on the J&S team. Danny, want to give us any hints as to what the plan is here? This is such an odd situation. It is very difficult to predict what's about to happen here. Danny, oh, here we go. J&S hits pit road. Their final stop. This time, Jared Heasley did not come down, and now we've got a battle as Matt Bear starts to fight his way forward. And business just picked up in Michigan. The J&S team already on their way back off of pit road together. Jared Heasley and Lataro both in. Brett Edgar, Octavio Rondoletto, Matt Bear, Jeremy Gilliott still out on track. Jose Godino still out. Brett Edgar now leading for the first time tonight as he pulls up to the back bumper on Sean Andrews. Sean Andrews is back on pit road. Did he get a penalty? Jeff Edgar now goes by Flying Ryan to put him a lap down. Nick Seams now a lap down. Joe Campbell now a lap down, as is Jared Heasley. More importantly, these cars, these J&S cars, have been fully separated, at least for the moment. This is the first time those 4 J&S cars have been apart tonight. And Sean Andrews is on pit road. It does look like he served a 30-second penalty. Brett Edgar now leading with Octavio Rondoletto, Matt Baer, Jeremy Gilliott, and Jose Gadino in 5th. This top 4 pitted on lap 132. It's a big question mark if they can go the distance. They'll have to go 68 laps on a tank of fuel. It's going to be close for some of them. The most likely one to pull it off would be the Mad Bear. But remember, Jose Gadino leading that second group, currently running in 5th place. Jose, yeah, we're pretty certain he can go. Whatever they have at this point, they are committed. Jeff Edgar's dropping back. Now Matt Baer goes to the lead. The 3 remaining J&S cars on the high side reconnected. Flying Ryan, Nick the college kid, and Joe Campbell. But they are a lap down at the moment. They definitely need Matt Baer, Jeremy Gilliott, Octavio, and Jeff Edgar to hit pit road. I suspect Jeff Edgar is close on fuel, as is Matt Baer. Looks like Matt's going to drop back. Jeremy Gilliott is going to the lead for the first time, with Scott Gilliott right behind, giving him a hand. The best move right now for Stimulus Racing would be put Scott Gilliott at the front. He is a couple of laps down. Let Jeremy Gilliott draft and conserve fuel. Flying Ryan trying to lead the J&S team back to the lead lap here. If the caution were to come out, those 3 J&S cars would be the 3 wave around cars. You know, we've only done the crank it up one time tonight, and we've got 23 laps to go. Let's crank it up one more time, folks. I'm going to stop talking, turn up your volume, and enjoy the sounds of these big V8s. Jared Heasley has just shot past everybody to put himself back on the tail end of the lead lap in 8th place. And it looks like he is going to work with Jeremy Gilliatt here, giving Gilliatt the opportunity to clear the J&S cars. What a move by Heasley. He made it 3 wide, went up top, past everybody, and shot up to the front of the pack, putting himself up into 8th place. Flying Ryan trying to come by on the high side. As after serving his penalty, Sean Andrews has regrouped with the J&S cars. Now they got a 4-car pack once again. Sean now a couple of laps down, but still able to help the team. And with their 4-car team, they managed to get back past Heasley. Jeremy Gilliatt in the 27 car, that red car on the bottom just behind, is still the leader, as the cars that just went past him are now on the tail end of the lead lap. Their best hope right now is a caution to put them back in the fight. Scott Gilliatt still right behind Jeremy Gilliatt, giving him a push. Scott now going to the high side, and it does look like Jeremy's going to let him by. Scott is going to pull the pack around and help him conserve fuel. Scott currently running in 16th place. Gerald Poole on pit road. And Scott Gilliatt is going to lead this pack around, helping Jeremy, Octavio, Brett Edgar, and Matt Bear conserve some fuel here. Meanwhile, this group led by Flying Ryan, they can go full throttle, full send around the track. And while that lead pack is running a little bit slower lap times, these guys are going full speed with 17 laps to go. Gerald Thanos Poole has hopped out of the car. He is up in the spotter stand with a calculator. Folks, it's gonna be close. And it is worth reminding everybody at home, at 10 laps to go, there will be no wave rounds if the caution comes out. At 5 laps to go, there will be no more cautions. No matter what happens, so we could potentially see the big one happen with 3 to go, there would not be a caution. Joe Campbell has gone back to the lead of his team as they try and catch back up to that lead pack. They're 44 seconds behind, but Lautaro in 7th place, just 18 and a half seconds ahead. Lautaro all alone. Every driver in this pack stands to pick up a spot if they can get by him. Last time by, Joe Campbell was 2 seconds faster than the leader, Jeremy Gilliatt. 15 laps to go at 2 seconds a lap. He does not have the time to catch him. However, if Jeremy Gilliatt slows down any more to conserve fuel, Joe Campbell will pull this group back up there. Or if they can find a little bit more speed. Worth noting, Sean Andrews back in the back, blinking just a little bit. That does have an effect on that pack, because when that car is not visible to the drivers, the physics of the sim are such that if that car is not visible, he is not a part of the draft. So when that car blinks, it slows down that entire line. Jeremy Gilliatt, last time by, ran a 50.42. Last time by, Joe Campbell, 48.69. 14 laps to go. They are 40 seconds back. And they are gaining close to 2 seconds every lap. But with 13 now to go, it's going to take a miracle. Matt Bear at the back of this pack likely can go the distance on fuel. Jose Godino in this second pack, currently scored in 5th, is the only driver we're 100% sure can go the distance. And he has his teammate, Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel, leading that pack to help conserve fuel. Nicole pitted later than everybody else on lap 150. She can easily go the distance. And Thanos is saying that 20 car, it can go the distance on fuel. Is it going to be enough, though? He is gaining with the help of Nicole Creasel. It is gaining on the leaders. Now less than 3 seconds behind Gilliatt. Could Jose Godino get to victory lane in his 50th consecutive start? Godino now just 1.5 seconds back. He's going to get to the lead pack. Jeff Edgar looking like he is going to try and make an attack on the high side. They have caught the lead pack. Jeff Edgar goes up top. Jeremy Gilliatt has no answer. Jeff Edgar goes to the lead for the first time tonight. He's got help. John Friley right there giving Edgar a push. They have cleared the leaders and are gone. Can Jeff Edgar go the distance on fuel, though? He will have to make a 71 lap run on a tank. Last stop, lap 129. 10 laps to go. There will be no wave arounds if the caution comes out. Anybody in the comments want to make a prediction here? Oh, by the way, Joe Campbell now just 27.5 seconds back from the leader. Jeremy Gilliott now in second, Octavio to third, Brett Edgar in fourth, the Mad Bear in fifth, Jose in sixth. Nicole completes her job, gets him back to the lead pack, and drops out so Jose can go on the attack. Does Jeff Edgar have enough fuel? He has a 5.5 second lead. Everybody else back here conserving fuel. Edgar is gone. Jeff Edgar has yet to win this season. The owner of Fastlane Motorsports, he has 3 Dash Series wins on Monday, but has yet to win in the big show on Tuesday nights. He now has an 8.7, 8.8. He is just gone. Jeff Edgar is on pit road. It's going to cycle back to Gilliott. John Friley also hits pit road. And now Jeremy Gilliott is back to the lead. Octavio in second. Brett Edgar in third. The Mad Bear in fourth. Jose Godino in fifth. Lataro back in sixth. Joe Campbell will pull up into seventh. Joe is 15 seconds behind the leader. Last time by 4 seconds a lap faster than Jeremy Gilliott. But here we go as Octavio goes on the attack. Jose is with him. And the Mad Bear follows him through on the high line. Octavio Rondoletto goes to the lead for the first time. Matt Bear up on the high side, just a little bit of help from Brett Edgar. Matt Bear's got a big run up top, but he loses help. Brent Mecca's coming from behind to give him a hand, but he's too far back. Octavio leads at the line as they hear green, green, green. There will be no cautions. We are going green to checker in a restrictor plate race. Five laps to go. Joe Campbell leads his team 12.5 seconds out of the lead. The Mad Bear on the high side pulls ahead of Godino. Brett Edgar hops back up to the top line. Brent Mekas back behind. And Patrick O'Toole is on pit road. 4 laps to go. The guys that don't need fuel now battling for the lead. Matt Bear has a nose ahead going into 3. Octavio, though, pulls back ahead. Joe Campbell leads his team about 11 and a half seconds back, but now that the leaders have cranked it up, he is not gaining ground like he was previously. Scott Gilliott has hit pit road. The 6 cars in the lead pack are all lead lap cars. Nicole Kriesel not far behind. Out of turn 4, Octavio pulls ahead again. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go at the line. Who will it be? Matt Bear looking to extend his points lead here tonight with a win. Octavio and Jose looking to get back to victory lane. Jeremy Gilliott looking for the first win for Stimulus Racing. Brett Edgar looking to get back to victory lane as they come down. White flag is in the air one more time around. Octavio leads at the line. This is gonna be close. And holy cow, Jose Gadino tried to drop low with the run, couldn't get there. They're 3 wide into 3. It's gonna be a drag race to the line. Will lap traffic come into play? No, they dropped off the track. Down to the line, who's it gonna be? It's Octavio Rondoletto with the win. Brett Edgar comes home second. The Mad Bear finishes third. Jose Gadino in fourth. Jeremy Gilliott in fifth. Lataro comes home in sixth. Joe in seventh. Flying Ryan in eighth. Jared Easley comes home in ninth. And Nick the College Kid Seams finishes 10th. What a finish here at Michigan. Wow. What a great run by all the drivers to go green to checkers tonight. And Octavio Rondoletto goes 2 in a row. After the big win last week at Sobo, he comes home with a second win from a short track to the big track. And we will get a word with our top 3 here in just a moment. What a finish. We had a battle down to the last possible second. And let's start by talking to the Mad Bear who came home in third. Hey, Matt, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, brother, I got you.
Hey, wild race to the finish. It really came down to a lot to who could push the hardest the last laps.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have any help right there on that last lap. I got hung out to dry in the middle, so I mean, I was kind of be where you may at that point and just try not to wreck. And you know, still a good points tonight overall. Top 3 again, gained some more points on the guys behind me. You know, can't really ask for much more overall. Just a long night at the racetrack, but I mean, once again, put the car in top 3 on the podium. You know, can't really ask for much more.
No, you really can't, buddy. That was an awesome run and an awesome fight down there at the on the last lap.
Yeah, I mean, Octavio had the line right there coming out of 4. I think I had the better run right there. If I'd had any help, I probably would have cleared him, but I just, Brent went and made it, took a look right there to try to get the win. I don't blame him. I mean, it's the last lap. You got to do what you got to do. So, I mean, it is what it is on the next week, but, you know, good points tonight. Gained about 20, 30 more points, it looks like, maybe a little more. Got to thank XCAL Web Shop, How to Suck at iRacing, Simcoin Racer, Butt Kicker, everybody that helps put the race on every week. Got, 7 more races to go in the season. Hopefully we'll try to get a couple more wins here. I was hoping to snag one here tonight, but plate racing, you know how it is. Anything can happen.
That is definitely true. Great job tonight, buddy. Congratulations. Great race.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Brett Edgar comes home in second. Hey, Brett, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, congratulations. You put on one heck of a show, and I was really wondering if you could go on fuel there.
Yeah, I on that last pit stop, we were about a lap and a half short. And then when J&S made their short stop there midway through that run, they got in front of that pack, and it helped me save enough.
It definitely paid off, and that was a wild race to the finish. I mean, just by like 2/1000ths or 2/100ths of a second was the difference. Coming out of 4, did you think you had it?
I thought I did because I had Brent behind me pushing. I just could not see where Octavio was. I knew I had Matt cleared, but yeah, I didn't know if I was in front or behind.
Well, man, it has been a while since we talked to you, but a great job. And another great finish, a big points night for you as well.
Yeah, just wish we could have finished it off, but hey, I'll take a career high finish.
A great job, man. Something to definitely be proud of. Any team or sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, Try Cooler Crew, my dad, everybody that runs for him. XCAL website. Just grab whatever merch you can.
Great job, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Doug.
Brett Edgar comes home in second, but for the second week in a row, it is Octavio Rondoletto in victory lane here at Michigan. Octavio, 2 for 2, man. What a race.
Hi, Doug.
A great job tonight, man.
Thank you. The race was difficult, too long, but the end was really close, thinking about the apron rule. So, the race was really fun. We tried to work with my teammate all the race, and we made it because... Can you hear me, right?
Yeah.
And we made a great job too. He finishing in the front group too, working with Jose in the end. And I'm happy for my team, for Flaming Karma, and everybody.
Oh, man, a great job, buddy. Obviously, the big win last week at South Boston. and now the win here at Michigan. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Roar's Esports at first, my two spotters, Gregorio and Matias. Flaming Karma Paint Shop for the sponsor. My family, they're watching the race. You and the organization for all the work.
My pleasure, buddy. Congratulations. You definitely earned it tonight. Great win.
Thank you. See you in the next time.
Octavio Rondoletto, 2 wins in a row. What a night he had. What a tear he is on. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was definitely an exciting finish to a wild night of racing. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Angie will be flying, and tomorrow night, the Nowski Nation Truck Series is back. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Have a great night, everybody.